And we're back. It's Thursday, January 11th, 2024. And we have a guest for the next hour from What on Earth is Happening and the One Great Work Network. Tavistock Institute for Human Relations favorite comedian and the most disgruntled Eloy on the planet, Mr. Mark Passio.
Hey, Jay. That's the most unique introduction I've ever received. Thank you for that.
Yes. Yes, he's leading the Eloy into a rebellion. I don't like it at all.
Trying for the past 17 years, right?
Well, remember when Red Ice Radio gave you a free pass to their network?
Yes.
And I think it lasts until 2025.
Oh, I didn't even know it was for that long. Okay.
And you said, if I'm doing this, in 2025,
yeah, we have bigger problems. Yeah. And, imagine, it's been 17 years. This is my 17th year doing this pretty much. And we are farther away from the solution than perhaps we've ever been. We're no closer as a species to really understanding the root causal factors of human enslavement. And from all of my data gathering and observation, the human species is absolutely not interested in learning why we're enslaved and what we can do to solve that problem at all. Not a bit. Not one bit are they even interested in that. They are still, after all these years, pointing fingers externally and asking other people to solve the problems that they themselves are creating by the very way that they insist upon continuing to think. And they don't yet understand that their mental state and their belief system, which is rigid and unchanging and not really willing to learn and grow and evolve, is actually causing their own enslavement. This is how pathetic humanity is. This is how pathetic this species is. And people have been trying to give them the answers. There are people of wisdom who have been trying to tell them the answer. They've been trying to educate them and edify them about natural law and morality and the laws that govern those things and how those are inextricably and inseparably forever connected to the state of human freedom or enslavement, as the case may be. And this species is just a hard-headed group of knuckleheads that just does not want to accept how reality functions because they believe that they know better. And they don't. They don't know better. They just believe that they do.
The Milner experiments, and what was it, 20% of the people had the critical thinking skills to say no.
The Milgram experiments, yes, about morality and following orders.
Yeah.
Over 80% of the people went to a lethal dose of electricity when ordered to give it. Obviously, it was staged. It was an experiment done on the people who were told to go ahead and shock a, quote, learner in an experiment when they gave the wrong answer. And, almost 8 out of 10 shocked people to a lethal dose. And it was like something like 7 out of 10 went, or 6 out of 10. I'm sorry, even higher than that. It was like 7 out of 10 went to a lethal dose, and like 9 out of 10 went to the point where they would have debilitated someone. They would have actually caused permanent damage with the electricity, but it just wouldn't have been actually fatal. And society is no better than that these days. We look at world history and most people tend to think, oh, if I was in, Nazi Germany. I wouldn't follow orders and do what they told me, but really they're not those people. They just claim that they are, but they're the kind of people that will just go along with just about anything that they're ordered to do.
Well, I think the COVID scam proved that.
Proof positive.
Yeah.
And just what police are ordered to do, Forget going after anybody on the Epstein child pedophile list. They're too busy busting, organic farmers in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania.
Well,
that's what order followers are ordered to do.
Looks dangerous, Mark.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you got to go after the real criminals. I mean, these organic farmers are really doing a lot of damage to humanity.
Cheese does not have any silicone in it. It
doesn't have any food-grade gypsum.
Therefore, it's really not gooey enough.
Right. No food-grade wallboard. Unless you're packing food with food-grade gypsum, forget it. You're they're going to send a SWAT team. But this is where humanity's at, and it's it's just saying the same thing over and over and over again for the past 17 years gets really, really, really goddamn boring. It's just boring. We're dealing with an uneducatable populace.
Out there.
Yeah. Oh, I will. But it's pretty obvious that this species is not educatable. They are unable to be educated. And they're just driving headlong into their own devastation.
This all comes back to the fact that the Illuminati, since the Younger Dryas cataclysm, have ruled this world. The dark occult have controlled information totally, and religious, academic, cultural.
Yep.
They've been in control of the information.
They've given people their views. They've given people their tastes. They've given people their opinions. They're social engineers. Social engineers have ruled this planet.
Not to say. They gave us their mind.
That was their greatest advantage and the greatest tactic from their point of view as rulers is they gave us their way of thinking. At a much lower level, obviously lacking a lot of deep psychological information about, how that mindset is deployed. But if you can give somebody a satanic mindset at a much, much lower level than even the top level dark occultists / Satanists that really run this planet, you completely own them. You completely have them at a complete tactical disadvantage. You maintain a power differential over them. You are locking them into a way of thinking from which they can never free themselves. Never acquire true freedom because they don't even this population doesn't even understand the law of freedom. And they don't understand the real difference between right behavior and wrong behavior. Most of the people in this world do not understand the actual factual difference between right and wrong. I mean, I try to listen to some podcasters and influencers, and I just got to say, it is absolute vomit. It is a cesspool of vomit is what's out there in the world. On podcasts, on internet radio, on social media, on any platform that claims to be influencers. These people are dumb as dirt, and the listening audience that listens to them and follows them and hangs on their word are dumber than dirt. I really cannot believe the nonsense that I hear on a daily basis, having absolutely zero to do with any causal factors of the human condition. Just all focused on trivialities, all focused on things that don't matter one bit, that you could rearrange them into infinite quantum possibility rearrangement, and you're still going to come up with a total of zero that actually affects the human condition for the better. I mean, these people have learned all of these podcasters and social media influencers over all these years have learned absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. What they say is absolutely worthless, meaningless, ineffectual. Not worth the time that it takes to lay it out. Not worth the time that it takes to speak it. And yet, they have millions and millions and millions of followers listening to them, and that's basically what all of the avatars of the world have ever told humanity is there's going to come a time when people are just listening to absolute nonsense, absolute garbage. They won't listen to people of any wisdom. They won't listen to people who are actually telling them the truth. They'll basically say that the people who are actually saying the truth are deceivers, liars, don't know what they're talking about, while simultaneously they'll actually be listening to deceivers and liars and say they're the voice of truth and reason and wisdom. We have absolute satanic inversion in our society everywhere. And the people who are actually trying to tell people the way that the laws of nature and how the fabric of reality is actually built inherently in nature works are shunned, ridiculed, not listened to. And one of the biggest movements you have in the whole world is, people believing that the earth is flat. I mean, it's just proof positive that we live in an absolute moron culture.
The earth is flat.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've looked into it, and I don't know who's pushing this, but I'm telling you, they're coming out. They're putting some money into this.
It's a religion created by the CIA. I mean,
yeah, but they're putting money into it. It's not like they're just talking.
Sure,
like
if you
a
can
bunch
get
of
people
yahoos. They've got laser experiments. They've got infrared photographs. There's all kinds of stuff floating around out there.
Yeah, if you can get people buying into,
it's not being pushed with billions of dollars behind it.
Right. I mean, if you can get people associated with a psyop, it gets everybody else.
Yeah. I agree with the Gnostics that this reality that we're in is a cheap copy of the real.
Well, this is something that David Icke just put out. I don't really subscribe to the Gnostic worldview of the whole universe is some kind of evil thing created by an evil god. I think that's pushing the envelope one step too far, because what that basically does is that gives these people too much power. They're not gods. They're just deceivers. They're just clever deceivers who can get people to think in a way that defeats them. Because they're
in actuality,
they're manipulating people who don't know arithmetic.
The human race into being its own worst enemy.
Correct.
And enslaving itself with the promise that one day they'll be on Nob Hill.
Yeah, I mean,
they'll be the master.
Human beings aren't even on their own side. They're not even trying to be behind their own causes. They'll say with their voice, I want to be free and I want freedom. And then with their thoughts and their behavior, they're doing everything possible to destroy freedom. And they don't even understand that that's what they're doing. And that's what they're doing because they're so dumb. Ignorance can never create freedom. If people don't have the tool set to actually discern what is true versus what is false and deceptive, then they will never be able to be free. Freedom is only granted by the universe truly. You are only able to keep freedom. Freedom is a birthright of the universe, but you are going to lose it immediately if you become two things: ignorant and immoral. You have to be an intelligent, moral race of beings to keep the birthright of freedom intact. That's why if you fall for psyops and you believe all of the religions that all of the intelligence agencies have created over the years and all of the dark occult orders have created over the millennia, what do you think? You're going to remain free? And then people go, oh, no, it's just my way of thinking that's unadulterated. It's just my religion that's pure. Sure it is. Sure it is. See, the whole problem is that people continue to buy into these systems of thought that all place responsibility external to themselves. That's the ultimate thing that is keeping us from true freedom. We want to externalize our personal responsibility to truly learn the difference between right and wrong.
Amen, brother.
Ourselves. Right. And because, we want to externalize that power and say,
it'll be a cold day in hell before I become responsible.
That's right. God forbid.
Any of this.
God forbid. I mean, that's the quickest way to want to have people want to kill you, is to tell them they're responsible for their own decisions and their own lives. God forbid. Anything but that. We need a ruler. We need a master. We need a leader. We need a guru. We need somebody to tell us what to do, or some stupid religion telling us what to do, what's right and wrong. That's not discoverable for ourselves. We need that commanded unto us from an external source. No, it's built into the fabric of reality, and the creator of the universe didn't develop and create the laws of nature to torment us with their unknowability. See, that's what we have to get, this mindset of powerlessness.
I love the fact that one of my father's favorite sayings was,
you can never know.
Never know.
That's right. Of course. Solipsism.
Take that from a Illuminati mass murdering pedophile.
The biggest lie of all is solipsism, that there is no truth. It's a mental derangement. I mean, I would go beyond calling it an ideology. I'd go beyond calling it a religion. I'd even go beyond calling solipsism a cult. Solipsism is a mental illness.
Yeah,
it's a spiritual illness. Right. That's what it is. I mean, imagine saying there's no objective knowledge. There's no objective truth. There's no objective reality. I mean, this is all
seems to be very popular.
That's postmodernism. Postmodernism is there's no truth, there's no morality. We get to make it all up based on how we feel. Our emotions trump knowledge, and how you feel determines reality. That's all. There's no such thing as any objective reality or objective morality. Don't you know? That's the postmodern world, And people buy into it. And again, these are just religions created by the intelligence agencies. This is just boardrooms of people, probably down in Langley, sitting down and saying, what are we going to tell these stupid cattle golem next? How are we going to deceive them and put completely poisonous, nonsensical ideas in their mind and get them to believe it with religious fervor? And that's the same for any religion. It's all the same equal horse crap. That's all it is. It's all just junk to feed the mind of the slave. That's all it is. Instead of learning how morality and freedom are inextricably forever intertwined and can never be disconnected or separated from each other, and understanding the real laws of freedom, the real laws of morality, and the real difference between right and wrong behavior. No, we can't be bothered with that. We got to cling on to our bullcrap religious texts and all of the mind control that all of the intelligence agencies and dark occult orders have fed us over the millennia, and believe that and cling on to it like the dead corpse that it is, like maggots clinging to dead flesh. That's literally what humanity is. A big ball of maggots clinging to a dead corpse. Literally, that's what humanity is. That's what I should just call them, maggot ball. That's literally what they are. One big ball of maggots clinging to dead flesh. And that represents how they think. I'm going to stay attached to my absolute BS thinking that Satanists gave me. Satanists gave people their thoughts. That's who gave people just about every thought process that they have in their in the crap in between their ears, in the space that's full of liquid crap in between their ears. Satanists gave them all of those thoughts. I'm talking to a large portion of the listening audience. And I don't care who I offend anymore. Most people have their head in the toilet bowl and they'll never get it out. They're just dumb as bricks. They're dumb as bricks. And that's what I'm basically going to be coming back on my show to just continue to tell people. You're creating the garbage reality that you're experiencing because of the way you think, dumb asses. That is literally all I'm going to come back this year and just tell people continually. Because they don't want to change, and so have more of what you have. Have it all in abundance. Enjoy it. Eat it. Eat it, drink it. Fill your lungs up with it because it's all you're ever going to have. You're never going to be free. You're incapable of becoming free because you're too dumb, you're too ignorant, you're too lazy, you're too clinging to completely wrong thought, wrong ideas, like authority, like government, like religion. All of it's crap. All of it's bull. All of it's nonsense. Not a little bit of it, all of it. It's all created by the Satanists that are enslaving you and want you to continue to think the same way so you can never change the experience that you're having on earth. This isn't a prison created by some demiurge. This is a prison created by dumb people. Let me say that again. This isn't a prison created by some demiurge god. This is a prison created by dumb people's dumb thinking. That's what it's created by.
Well, technically you're correct. The people are doing it to themselves. But they don't even realize they're doing it. That's why Christ said, "Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do."
Yep, I can't agree with that one either. Because we have to hold people, even dumb people, accountable for their behavior and the way they think. This is the problem, is we're making excuses for people who are doing evil, we're making excuses for people who are condoning evil, and we're making excuses for people who are just allowing evil to run rampant because they're so dumb. None of those people should just have excuses made in their name. Instead, they should be held accountable. And this is the problem, is the people that actually do know what's going on, the people that actually do know how things really work, aren't really saying we have to get together and hold people accountable. We have to tell people you're not good enough the way you are. The bulk of the human population is so dumb, they're enslaving themselves and everybody else. And they don't have the right to do that. I still hear people in the whole freedom movement say, well, people are allowed to be as ignorant as they want. No, moron. They are not allowed to be ignorant as they want. Once again, you could be as ignorant as you want about many, 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 many things. But when it comes to morality and it comes to how freedom actually functions, no, you are not allowed to be as ignorant as you want. Remaining ignorant about those dynamics means that you are bringing slavery to other people that have to live in the same reality that you are living in, and you don't have that right. There is a line that is crossed where you don't have the right to be ignorant about certain things, because in doing so you are devastating the freedom of others. And that's what I've been trying to explain to people for the bulk of 2 decades now. And I'm tired of it. I'm tired of saying the same thing to dumb morons who don't want to listen and who want to go listen to some dumbass social media influencer that is saying nothing, that has been saying nothing. And people would dare to say to me, I'm not presenting any solutions. I'm telling you the ultimate solution. The ultimate solution is get your thoughts out of the sewer and stop thinking in ways that can never make you free and are only going to drive you and the rest of humanity deeper into enslavement. Because you don't know real morality. You're buying into religious BS notions of what morality is. Religion's never going to teach you morality. It's there to teach you a false variant of morality. That's why people throw morality out with religion, because they rightly throw religion down the toilet bowl where it belongs. But they unfortunately say, well, those religionists were trying to tell me about morality and what's right and wrong, and I'm going to throw that notion out with it and become a moral relativist and an atheist. People don't understand. You don't throw morality out with the garbage of religion. Toss the garbage and keep the actual pure thing and learn what it really is and how it drives reality. No, see, we have people either clinging on to the total crap that religion is or throwing all of it, including morality, in the garbage and then becoming an atheist, which is equally as crap thought. You know? That's what we have. So we have a whole world of people completely in total ignorance of how reality really works and how freedom really works.
I mean, all through practically all the ancient religious texts, you'll find a thread of morality. And then they add all of these violations to natural law. And build
that aren't
an entire
real
social system around that.
All for their control.
The moral teachings to the wayside.
That's right. See, that's the dogmatic trappings of religion. They come in, they completely cement over the real morality, give you a false facade of morality, and then get people clinging on to that and then saying, this is what morality is. No, morality is not doing 7 things: murder, assault, rape, theft, trespass, coercion, and deception. And in all honesty, it's not doing one thing: don't steal. That's what morality is. If you're not taking something that doesn't belong to you from someone else, you're not doing a wrongdoing. So the question to always ask, if you're going to debate whether a behavior is moral or not, what are you stealing? If you are stealing something that is not your rightful property, that does not belong to you, then you're not conducting a wrongdoing or a violation of morality. You're not conducting a violation of natural rights. When police take people's free will, when police take people's freedom, they're stealing something. When soldiers take people's well-being, they're stealing something. You know? When order followers follow orders to do something that is morally wrong without first considering the morality of it, they're stealing something from somebody else. They're stealing their free will. They're stealing their rights. They're stealing their freedom. They're stealing their well-being. They're stealing their bodily autonomy. On and on and on. Deceivers are stealing the right to make informed decisions based on accurate information by putting false information and deception out to the public, and then telling them things are safe when they're actually deadly. You know, that's deception. And people can't get it that if you're doing something that doesn't take and diminish from someone else, it's reserved as a right. You don't have to like it. You don't have to condone it. You don't have to think it's totally wise and you know, for the benefit of everybody. If somebody's putting substances into their body, it's their body. You don't have to like alcohol. You don't have to like smoking. You don't have to like drugs. It doesn't make a difference. Someone can do what they want with their own property. If I want to burn my car, it's my property. I can do it because it's mine. If I want to do damage to that thing that belongs to me, if I want to take my phone, put it in the microwave, and turn the microwave oven on, that's my property. Yeah, I may have done damage to my property, but that's what I rightfully own. People can't rightfully own someone else. They can't rightfully own someone else's rights. They can't rightfully own someone else's property. This is simple kindergarten. This is nursery school crap, folks. We're failing nursery school regarding human rights. We're failing nursery school regarding morality. We think we're going to be free. We think we're going to beat the occultists of this world. You think you're going to beat the Satanist social engineers of this world? They're going to whip our behinds like it's no, and mop the floor up and down with humanity. Because they're knowledgeable about how this works, even though they're evil, and the universe respects their unity. They're unified in their own thoughts, emotions, and behavior. Their thoughts, their emotions, and their actions are unified as one. So the universe is going to look at them, and it's going to say, are they on the same page? Thought, emotion, and action-wise? You bet your bottom dollar that they are. And it's going to say, well, then I'll have the respect to allow them to have what they want. They'll have control. They'll have dominance. They'll push these stupid, ignorant monkeys of the human race down, and they'll keep them there forever. Because those dumb ignoramuses on the other side of the equation, they don't know anything that's going on regarding how freedom really works. They don't know the law of freedom. They don't know the laws of morality. They don't know natural law. And because they continue to buy into a fake form of morality, their thoughts, their emotions, and their actions are completely in opposition with each other, even within individuals themselves. They think one thing and they behave a different way. They say they want one thing and then their behaviors completely betray what they say they want. And you think the creator of the universe, you think the universe itself is going to give us what we say we want? When we're that non-unified, we're all on different pages, we can't even come onto the same page regarding what's right and what's wrong? We don't deserve freedom. This species doesn't deserve anything better than what it has. It deserves much worse. It deserves infinite suffering. And that's all it should have until it gets its head out from up its rear end and out from up the toilet in the toilet bowl.
Well, how do you really feel?
Yeah. Oh, wait till I get on my show. I'm holding it back because I'm out of respect for someone else.
When you were talking about religion, I mean, how many people that say they're Christian know about the Council of Nicaea?
Right. Yeah.
How many Christians know that in the just in the 1611 King James Version, there are now 41,000 changes.
Yep. And mistranslations or deliberate mistranslations, of course.
Well, I mean, Zondervan Bible Publishing Company is the largest religious book publishing company in the West. And Zondervan is owned by Rupert Murdoch now. So you have the Illuminati publishing and editing
religious texts.
Texts.
Of course. But Jay, only my religion's unadulterated. All the religionists of the world say. It's just everybody else's religion that's been touched by the Satanists and the dark occult. Not mine. Mine is perfectly pure. Never been touched, never been altered. 100% true and correct. This is how moronic the people of this planet are. They really don't deserve anything better. They don't. They really don't. And the truly decent people who have been trying to explain it to them, they don't want to listen to. They don't want to hear the voice of reason. They don't want to hear the voice of wisdom. They want to believe they know better when they're a dumb dolt. They're just dumb little country bumpkin morons. And they literally want to go on thinking the same thoughts that they've always thought their whole wretched, miserable, worthless lives. And it's never gotten them anywhere. It's never gotten them 1 millisecond, 1 millimeter closer to freedom. And they want to say, I'm going to continue to think this way. That's what Satanism is in and of itself. It's the ego refusing to allow people to acknowledge their wrongness of thought and to do anything different to correct that wrongness of thought and to bring it into alignment with truth and reality. That's what Satan is. Satan isn't a being that the Satanists worship. Satan is a form of consciousness that holds people in a state of untruth, which in turn holds them in a state of slavery. And that's what religionist morons refuse to even understand. They want to read some literalist interpretation of Constantinianity and say, oh no, this says Satan's a being and it's an entity and this and that. And I'm a former priest in the religion of Satanism. I'm a former priest in the religion that controls the earth. And for 17 years, I've been telling people how that religion works internally, giving people the inside playbook of how their masters control their minds. And you know what people have told me? Go F yourself. I don't want to know. I'm sticking to my bullcrap religiosity viewpoint that I can't get my head out of the toilet bowl about. And I refuse to listen to someone who is actually on the inside of the occult world working with the social engineers that control the public. giving you their internal playbook and giving you the mind control that they actually push upon the public, telling you how those techniques of mind control work. And yet people, dumb, ignorant morons who have never studied the occult for 1 second, who have never looked at it, who have never been involved with it, who have never been around one living social engineer in their lives, let alone hundreds like myself, will tell me I don't know what Satanism is and I don't know the forces that are controlling this planet. They're dumb monkeys who deserve what's happening to them. And it's going to continue, and it's going to get worse. Just like I told people, it's going to continue and get worse 10, 15 years ago, and then the COVID war started. The COVID psyop was unleashed. Mark my words, and I'm going to keep telling this in interviews and on my own show. Look at it as this is as good as it'll ever be. It'll never be any better than this. It will get infinitely, infinitely, infinitely worse than this in a downward spiral trajectory. And you are, meaning the people within the sound of my voice, are the people who are causing that. Because you refuse to get your head out of the cosmic toilet bowl and actually learn how morality really works. And then align your behavior with it, and then you'll get a different result. But if you keep believing the nonsense that's put out there for you by the Satanists, the social engineers, the intelligence agencies, enjoy what you have, because you are never going to have one moment better than this. It will be forever. And humanity will never be free. But, I fully know. I'm just saying that so that it's heard. I fully know their hearts will be hardened. Their heads will be hardened. They will not listen. They are going headlong into further destruction and enslavement, and that's where they belong. I'm only here to say what the truth is. It will not change the outcome. I know where the outcome is heading, and it's no place good. It is going to be a further torture chamber. So just all the people within the sound of my voice, just get ready, prepare for that. You brought it on yourself. All of you brought it on yourself. You don't want to change your thoughts. You don't want to change what you condone. You don't want to change your behavior. You don't want to teach others. So enjoy the enslavement and destruction that you've wrought upon yourselves. And you want to say that's self-righteous, that's, me being a doomsayer, say whatever the hell you want. I'm still right, and your thinking is still wrong. And that's what I want to get on with much larger social influencers and tell them. Because they think they're doing something good. They're not doing one iota of good for humanity. They're just egotists who want to hear the sound of their own damn voice and want to make more click-throughs and ad revenue on their BS social media platforms.
They're making a fortune, Mark. Leave them alone.
Could you imagine that all these morons out there have absolutely no part of it? They have zero part of what's real and true. They're just telling people nonsense that they think they want to hear just to get followers. And I can't really truly influence any large group when it comes to thinking. My material is completely unknown. Ours is. Just about everybody on the One Great Work Network. We've been trying to tell people for countless years how natural law functions to bring to the equality whether an entire the public, they're brainwashed. They're too completely held in thrall by religion and by social engineering, and it's not going to change. It's going to stay that way. I have no illusions that it is going to improve or get better. I only say what I say because it's the correct and right moral thing to do, and so when the time comes when I leave this reality, I can be face to face with the creator of the universe and say I did what was required of me. That's it. That's the only reason I continue to speak. Not because I think anything's going to improve, because it is not. And for people who want to say, you're a doomsayer, then prove me wrong. Then do what I just said is the requirement. Get your head out of the toilet bowl. Stop being a mind-controlled zombie. Learn how morality really works. Stop believing in the BS religious interpretation of morality that's completely incorrect. And start educating others about how morality really is and really functions to bring us the state of the human condition. then maybe you'll prove me wrong. Then maybe, 20 years down the line or whatever, if I'm still here, I can say, you know what, I was wrong about humanity. They proved me wrong. They did something that was worthwhile and good, and they turned it around. But they won't do it. People won't do it. And I'm not saying that to discourage people. I'm saying it because I have really, truly learned what the average moron out in the public is like. That they only care about themselves, which is what Satanism is. They only care about their own views that have already been downloaded and indoctrinated into them, and that's what Satanism is. They don't care about reality. They don't care about morality. They want their own views to be right. Their ego will not allow them to admit that they were wrong or duped. They don't want to get involved in the real battle of teaching morality to other people, and they don't want to put any skin in the game. They're ultimately ignorant, apathetic cowards. And what do ignorant, apathetic cowards deserve? Do you think the creator of the universe wants a bunch of ignorant, apathetic cowards? Do you think that's what it wants to foster and promote and have everywhere? What do you think humanity's enslaved for? The result is a direct equation of what you have in society. If you have ignorant, apathetic cowards, you have enslavement. You can't have well-informed, courageous, caring people that are enslaved. It doesn't work that way. The universal laws of morality don't work that way. Truly informed, knowledgeable, truly caring, courageous people who know morality and teach it to others don't end up enslaved. In the aggregate, I'm talking about, as a society. So all you have to do is ask the question, is humanity enslaved? Are we free? Are we enslaved? Well, we're obviously enslaved. Well, then the answer comes back, we're enslaved for the very causal reason that you have an aggregate population, collectively, that is a bunch of ignoramuses. They're apathetic, lazy, and cowardly. And they don't know morality, and they don't teach it to others. It's an inescapable equation. This is simple arithmetic, which I know the bulk of humanity doesn't even know how to do.
Well, 2 and 2 equals 5.
At all times and places, as long as you're on planet Earth. I mean, this is why people don't understand cosmology. That's why they can't do real scientific thinking. That's why they can't do real work to understand the laws of physics, the laws of dynamics. Geometry, that's one of the quadrivium. That's one of the quantifying methods of the trivium. People don't understand basic arithmetic and geometry. If you can't understand those things, you can't really put them together, you can't understand what's going on around you. Then they don't understand logic, obviously. They don't have the information, they don't have the grammar. You can't do the basic trivium without grammar, logic, and then rhetoric, putting it out into the world. When a people fail at the trivium process of truth discovery and then putting the truth out into the world, enslavement follows. It's a very, very simple process that people still can't get. They still can't reason it out for themselves because they just have a mind that's just horse crap mush. That's all it is. They don't have a mind. They never developed the mind. It's like a weak person that never did anything, that just laid down their whole lives. That's what we have. We have a population that's incapable of thinking correct thought because that's a form of health. They don't have that health built up within themselves. They're a lazy bag of skin and bones that never lifted a weight in their life. They never did anything with tensile resistance to build muscle. So they never built the muscle of the mind because they never actually learned the trivium method and the quadrivium quantification methods within the trivium. You have that pull trivium out of all forms of modern public education. What do you think is going to happen to the public? They're going to get smarter? Their IQs are going to go up? We have a dunce population that believes completely erroneous things and thinks all these erroneous things are going to lead to freedom. When the main thing that they have to learn to get to freedom, they ignore. And all the influencers, so-called, that have millions and millions and millions of followers, they're not saying anything about any part of this. I would just love to get on a big platform so I could tell the host of the platform what a moron they are. I would go on just to get kicked off. I would go on and say, I don't know how all your moron listeners listen to your crap, because you're a moron and they just listen to a bigger moron than themselves. That's it. That's all the big social alleged influencers are. They're just horse crap, mush brain morons that have a bunch of followers. I told people from day one, I'm not your leader. I don't want you to be my follower. I want you to know what I know, and I want you to be able to explain it to other people. I want you to know it so well that you can teach it. And that, you know what happens? Right out the door. Right out the door. You know, my website has an 86% in and out ratio. That means 86% of the visitors that have ever visited whatonearthishappening.com, my website, have only visited it once and never repeated a visit. Think about that. That shows you how unpopular what I've been saying all these years is. That shows you how completely brainwashed and in the complete mind virus Wetiko programming the general population is completely controlled by the social engineer class, by the dark occult ruling class. 86% of people that hit my website never return once. Because I'm telling them your life is your responsibility. I'm telling them the reason the world continues in the deplorable conditions that it continues in is because of the way you think. And continue to think. And you will not restructure your thought. You will not reform your thought. You will not unlearn what you think you know when you're wrong, and your ego refuses to allow you to acknowledge that you're wrong. And you know where they go? Right out the door, never to come back. That's where humanity's at. And guess what? A people that's that ignorant, a people that's that satanic in their ego, a people that's that completely egotistical, they only deserve one thing: slavery. That's all they deserve.
They're going to get a lot more than that.
Yep. They deserve slavery and then destruction. And that's what the universal creator of the universe is going to allow that, and has allowed it throughout time immemorial on beyond calculable planets. Because we have free will to make our own choices. We have free will to learn reality. We have free will to learn the laws of the universe. We have free will to learn how things really work. We have free will to get our ego out of the way. We have free will to reprogram ourselves. We have free will to get all the social engineering conditioning out of our minds. And if we don't do those things, if we don't clean up our thoughts, we deserve whatever the dark occult ruling social engineer class does to us collectively. There are some people that don't deserve it. There are some people who have cleaned up their own act through truly learning truth discovery methods and employing them, who have truly learned morality, who have truly learned discernment. And they don't deserve that. But it's a tiny, infinitesimally small pocket of humanity. And unfortunately, they're going to go down with the sinking ship. That's how it works. A big negative harvest like that pulls down good people with it. And that's where we're at in the world. And I've been trying to tell people how to avert that outcome since I woke up to it, almost 20 years ago. Finally going public about 17 years ago. And
well, I've been yelling since 2010.
Right.
Was the first time I came out and talked publicly about my family. And I've said for 13, 14 years, my parents told me in 1962 about that they were going to destroy the entire human race.
Within about 50 years. Yep. Yeah, I remember you telling me the story. They said, wait, do you see how bad it's going to get?
I'm looking at whatdeagle.com. Remember when Alex Jones first talked about, they put out this study that 60 million people would be alive in America in 2025?
Yeah, the projections of future population. Yes. And what about it?
You look at it now, it's like...
or what are we at, 330 million in America?
The death rate for under 40, excess death after 24
has to be up over 100%, right?
Well, it's going to 70%.
Okay.
And that is prime worker age, 40 and under.
Yep.
And so from 18 to 40, you take 70% of that population out. If you're talking a completely collapsed society.
I got to kind of say I wish them the best of luck. I wish the social engineers, I wish the eugenicists the best of luck. I don't care who's horrified by hearing me say that. Think whatever the hell you want, you know. Human beings don't deserve to win this battle. They do not deserve to win it. They're trash for the most part. There's a very, very, very tiny, tiny, tiny portion of humanity that is not trash, that is going to get completely swallowed up by this. And that's the tragedy. That's the only tragedy.
I believe that you just never know, because you are dealing with, the 99% of reality is plasma, is frequency and vibration. And it's out of space and time. And we're dealing with the material, which is the 1%. And the 1% is trying to tell the 99% this is the way it's going to go down.
Right. Yep.
Well, that ain't going to work, Mark.
Of course.
And I'm just saying
this is why I've been trying to explain to people the Hermetic principles. I've been trying to explain to people natural law, that your thoughts lead to your behavior, and then your behavior is going to determine the quality of your reality in the physical world. Where does that process begin? It begins in how you think. If your thoughts are in the toilet bowl and you don't understand how things really work in the realm of thought, the causal realm, what do you think? You're going to create great stuff in the realm of manifestation, in the realm of effects? You're going to create garbage in the realm of effects. That's what we've been doing. We've been unconsciously creating pure sewage for reality. Like you said, at a grand cosmic scheme, the universe is a thought-based holodeck. It's a quantum construction based in thought. That's the first Hermetic principle. The all is mind. Everything is thought, and thought precedes all forms of manifested reality. So if we're in a quantum conscious holodeck that is driven by the quality of thought, what's the quality of the aggregate thought of humanity? What do you think that's going to create? You think that's going to create some grand palace? We're going to create a devastated truck stop toilet. That's what we're going to create. We're going to create a gas station bathroom that's been destroyed by truckers for 6 months and never been cleaned. Okay? That's what we're creating. All right? Because of the quality of our thoughts. We don't understand how the actual quantum reality works. It's driven by thought. Thought is the underlying basis for all of it. It precedes all manifested reality, and the quality of the thoughts that you think are going to determine the quality of the reality that you experience. And I don't mean like, think good things and good things will happen. No, I mean learn how to actually think and discern. Learn how reality really works, and then align your behavior to the laws of reality. That's different than the New Age nonsense. Just feel good all the time, and then it'll be great. Yeah. There's another set of religious morons, the New Age movement group. More CIA, social engineer created religion. Telling people all you got to do is think good thoughts. Don't be negative. Don't look at the negative. Don't look at all the mind control methods so you'll learn how to get your mind out of it. No, you can't do that. You just got to walk around feeling great all the time when you're actually in a prison. I feel great about living in a prison. Don't just feeling good. The guards are going to just open up the door because they're going to see the big crap-eating smile on our face, and they're going to let us out of the prison just because of our emotions. Yeah, that's how it works. Morons. That's what these people are. Morons.
Well, we only have a few minutes left, and I wanted to talk to you about your latest presentation.
Sure.
So go ahead.
You're referring to the one that I gave back in October, which was Two Masks, Same Face, The Dark Occult Origins of Nazism and Communism. And I am literally, it's one of my proudest achievements, quite frankly. The amount of work that I put into this thing, like, I didn't see the light of day for months. And guess what? It completely paid off, because the knowledge that I condense into this 8-hour and 5-minute presentation, it's 8 hours and 5 minutes in length. Then I did a 55-minute Q&A session to bring the total to 9 hours long. It is one of my best pieces of work to date, other than my natural law seminar, which is equally as long. Because I completely exposed the dark occult underpinnings of the two most devastating political ideologies ever to destroy life upon this planet, which is Nazism and communism. And I proved
Is it available on your website?
It will be. It is being edited right now, and it will be out within the next month, hopefully. So I'm not going to make any hard promises, but, probably by sometime in February to get it up.
All right. Well, thanks for being on.
Thank you, Jay.
Yeah, you've been listening to Revolution.